No, still take, well, we are online, but we're not on computer, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Let's see what we got here.
Yeah. So
Testing 1, 2. Go ahead and talk, Josh.
testing.
That's picking it up.
Is it picking it up through those?
Probably.
Here, let me do this
Click the
back.
test one more time. Sorry.
No, here.
I was just gonna tap this while you click it, because usually
You can go ahead and drive.
Oops, that's not what I want.
This is his budget.
I want.
This much over budget? That's just, I'm just taking it. I don't know. This is 0 budget.
So I think it's
Your budget.
in the computer, Mark. I think it's coming.
Yeah.
Your budget is for it. No, it should be set.
Test.
No. You got budget, you got positive, negative. So I
The North Island is a variety of this flightless bird. What's kiwi? That's right. Business paper. In 1911, this oil company
I'll second that. A motion and a second. All those in favor of accepting the minutes as written? Aye. Reports, warrants are going around. Brings us to Audrey's update. Welcome in, Audrey. So how are things looking on the front here?
It seems to be coming a lot better.
Coming along better?
I've gotten a lot of help from there. That's this,
Okay.
the rest of the stuff seems to be more into it, more comfortable I get with it. So,
Everything is starting to shape out. Everything's coding better now. Access to all your accounts are.
yeah, except that after 3 years, they decided they want to do all new signature cards. Of course, my name's been on signature card for 3 years.
Yeah.
It was supposed to have been taken off, it was never taken off.
Okay.
So
That was when Abby was in. Yep.
So now they've decided that I need to do all new signature cards.
Okay.
The guy was nice enough, he dropped me off all the paperwork. And I had a few minutes this afternoon, I was going to do it. He's going in on
Okay. So that's all gonna be pre-processed. Yep. Okay.
Okay, that brings up the question, whose names are going to be on, who's the other names?
just mine, I think that Kathy does not want her name on.
Okay,
She's, and I she's on on the plate, she does not want responsibility of having her name on all the accounts. I did check with the bank, because she does move money around for FEMA. And she does not have to be a signer on the account to be able to do that.
To transfer from one account to another, to write checks for payroll and various bills. We do have to have someone who can sign checks in case something happens.
Hey, my name was on the account for 3 years, and I didn't
So-
even work here.
So we have, do we have to?
We'll just sneak that right in there.
Now, what's the protocol on that? Is there,
Usually the assistant treasurer or the town clerk
okay,
in my time and so forth.
okay,
Right, and
The only exception was when Vera had her car accident and was laid up. I got my name put on for a short period,
okay.
and it better be removed,
yes, my name is right there at this point.
Good. because that was quite a while ago.
We need a second sign,
And this is basically an emergency situation going on, right?
yes.
Yes,
Okay. And do we have any volunteers?
Yep,
Do volunteer to get sign? There we
we don't
go.
have to get into those things when we go to disperse
Yep,
ARPA funds, so it might be glad
that's a good choice.
Might-
Yeah.
so if you two can get together and get that straightened out with the bank.
Right,
Uh,
he came in the other day when I was busy with Bill, getting this young man, but I did not have time to meet with him.
Yep.
And we said we'd come back. And said I'm gonna have to get a hold of him.
Yep.
And coordinate with. And see what would be the time for him to come in and talk to us both about it.
Perfect.
And
I'll make a motion that we add Brenda Churchill on the signature list for the bank, so that in case of emergency, we'll have someone who can write checks.
I'll second that motion.
I'm gonna abstain from this vote.
Okay. All those in favor of adding Brenda as a signer, second signer for the checks? say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
No.
Okay. Yes, absolutely.
Lance made a motion to add Brenda Churchill as a second signer to the Bakersfield checkbook,
Bakersfield
to be able
Bank
to
account,
sign check to Bakersfield what?
bank account, various Bakersfield bank accounts, because that would, if
Various.
something happened to Audrey, that would also include the trust funds.
Bank accounts. To be able to sign checks in the event of emergency, in an emergency situation.
Yes. Or in treasurer's absence.
Okay.
Because it might not necessarily.
Well, she could schedule vacation, for instance, yeah.
Yep.
well, the only thing with that is scheduled time. So we have to work around more things like that, because in order to sign the checks, you gotta be able to write the checks.
Right.
So, and then,
Yeah, we just, in the motion, we just want to make sure that we're covered on all bases, just in case.
and that's just very time consuming.
Audrey, on the profit loss one here, I think it's the third page in it. It says the internet, we allotted 251, we've spent 1398, but it says we're 1,800% of the budget. I think it's just the things are in the one I got the line next to on the right there.
Yeah, there's gotta be something going on here because,
So you budgeted the 250.71 is what we had, or roughly, and we've spent. So I think the 1398 needs to go where the 251 is.
see, I don't put these in here.
Okay,
These are pulled from whatever.
okay, well, that would make me a little more concerned then, because that means it would be pulling it from,
This is a QuickBooks spreadsheet?
yeah.
Okay, so
It says,
pulling something from the wrong place.
yeah, because according to this, it's saying we spent 251.71, and we only budgeted 13 or 34, which I don't know, 1398, which means we're
Yeah, I think
$237 over budget.
They're
They switched somehow.
Also, I'm gonna, here on the, county general fund or zoning fund, you show, receipts of 2646.1 and expenses of 3110, with a balance of +904, should be negative 904.
Which one's that?
You got receipts, 26 there, expenditures,
We should, yeah.
negative 904.
The zoning, yeah, fund generally runs in deficit. But,
Yeah, you better check on that too.
Any notes you want to put on it, because I'll do the research and check, but I don't enter any of this. And it's surprising that it wasn't on last month. On the one meeting for the last period.
Correct.
So,
so this,
So the zoning fund, what way,
See the zoning, you have receipts of 2646.
Yeah.
21.
Yeah.
And expenses of 3,110.33, should be a negative 904.
and it doesn't say that.
see, which is good.
yeah, this is not right.
It says ending balance,
Right, shouldn't be, it should be negative 904. Because your receipts are less than your expenditures.
You gotta review this one profit and loss sheet. Something going on that's not right. I mean, on payroll expenses, this is there. Over for July too. I think what's happened is, July 1 through 26. No, that's right. Expense budgeted. If you get the July 1 through the 26, expenses 2141.16, and you budgeted 5591, it shouldn't be a negative number.
So like what I'm saying, like, you got it falls over to negative, you should get 100%, right? You should be all 100%.
Yeah.
If you're doing, your best here, you're spending this much money,
Yeah,
it should be.
you gotta take a look at that whole profit and loss spreadsheet, because something's going on there that's not quite right. Like the social security one looks.
They're all a little funky. Well, also too, on this other one,
Yeah. I had last month, I'll compare it to last month.
no, these numbers here, they're all zero, you get a number. Here, all these numbers, where these are, it's all zeros.
Yeah.
Oh, is it, what's this number, where's this top of it? One $64 $7 here. 49,000, I don't know where it comes from. There's 31.
These are the balance from town hall repair. It's non-going.
Oh, I see, I didn't see the number.
Conservation,
Okay, I didn't see the
this
number.
is their balance.
Okay, I didn't see the number.
And this is, yeah, see that,
Oh,
this is beginning balance.
That's maybe right.
57,
So if you were probably right, I'm thinking, so you got 1,300 plus this, so she's probably right, you got 1,368 plus your 2,600. minus your 31, probably is right, I didn't do math, could be right. I didn't notice that number.
So, but this, yeah, the balance is up here. Right, this is total expenses here.
No, it's-
We're not.
Total expenses.
Can you tell me who's in?
Yep.
Just write them down.
That's right. I didn't notice these balances up here.
Okay,
Okay.
okay, so that was good, that one's okay.
I didn't see those upper numbers.
Which one's that?
194,
With
one was up.
What's the
operations here,
one?
this number is not.
You're right.
So, this is what I got.
It is not up for it. I didn't notice that. Nope. That's good.
Yeah.
But I would don't take it down there and see it.
This is not.
Like the receipts and expenditures.
You can, it's not uncommon to make it, I mean, this is plain, it's stricken out on the line,
Okay.
so that you can still read the original. It's initial by Audrey,
Okay.
this is the correct number,
Okay.
okay? We've got to take this one off by $63 down
Yeah.
here.
That's what I did there. Yeah. Which comes out to this. So when you strike that one.
Strike it out.
Needs to strike that one.
Straight single line, initial, and put the correct amount there.
What did I miss?
But I forgot to change the total.
The total at the bottom,
Yeah.
that's the figure I came up with.
No, you're checking
See, like,
$63.
see what is, that's how we do it. We have a budget year to date.
I think it's just rearranging the columns.
I like
It's so,
this better, honestly. It's
That's
simpler.
what makes it-
Should do the second one. It's just a format.
See how we do budget, so these for ours, that's our financials for the month. We have like the budget, year to date.
Correct to the number I came up with. If you each want to double check that out, I would.
yeah, see, I.
Okay, yep. No, I agree.
And all I do is go in and plug in the dates, and it pulls everything together. So, I can look at anything and everything that you're interested in. So, let you know.
Something's screwy with that QuickBooks spreadsheet right there, and I'm not the one to ask.
Well, my only concern is, which isn't a concern. This is the same one that I've given you. I mean, yeah, it's got the last 2 weeks on it,
Yep, and that would be part of her. Her job.
You see how the budget, how the budget, 2 budget, and 2
Oh, right.
and forecast, which is getting 30%.
Well, we're gonna show 7 there.
And then communication.
Okay, I just.
If I would, I mean, you're chairman, you if you think it's.
No, I just. For some reason I thought we had it all scheduled.
I did.
We can double check with Terry.
Well,
Yeah.
no,
You know, they just had
So possibly Audrey, maybe, you could reach out to the expert and see what the report is that they're running. 'Cause I know when I was on that system, there's like a list of reports, you know, this long. Just give the name of the report that they're running like that would, maybe you could just, it'd find it easier. I'm not sure, or maybe Gary can help you out with that. 'Cause I think, like I said, there was a whole slew of reports that they found.
Yeah, that report. You know,
Yeah.
we have to.
Terry was discussing. How do we do some training? I was told that you guys use networks, not books. So, okay, moving on, do we have, to give me any adjustments? I'll research everything. Probably just not being explained properly. Myself is 904, I think that's. That's right. We've been seeing a lot of increase in highways. Building permits.
No, that's correct, you're, that now report correct. Or, like, I didn't see the ballot before.
You have the written checks, we kind of, checks, yeah,
Yes, I have.
take this. The balance here doesn't reflect that. It's the, oops, I'm sorry.
Page on that.
It's a right one.
Very top page.
Yep. That balance is still showing 6,000.
Yes, that's the ending balance after we paid all that, that money, we still have $6,279 in credit on
And we pay out again.
December, first part of January. It's,
Per check.
$725. $13,775 for 19. And we got 13,500. Spend it out. 13,775. But we also had a couple of checks that were returned.
Mm-hmm.
That,
650 last year, something like that.
yeah,
Okay.
so but that is correct, I double checked.
Okay, thank you.
So the funnel having more money than anticipated.
Yeah, actually,
That's
for a switch.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing. Any other orders for the budget finance stuff? Do you have anything more for us at budget?
And then the line there,
Yep, this one, Lance just showed, explain that to me.
percent of tax rate.
This is the.
Get the highlight on, gives you the
Yeah.
explanation, so that, notes.
Alright, so we have anticipated 57, it's like we're going to give us a municipal tax rate at 0.5707, is that correct? Yeah. And then we just need to add 5707 to the adjusted tax rates. So
That's the homestead.
for the homestead tax, which is the first one here, I believe, it's 204, or 2.0496.
That's the homestead.
That is the homestead, and the non-homestead, $2.33.
That's 2.3035.
Correct.
2.30.
So now this requires, that's not the one, these are just information. Okay. Yeah, so this requires a motion. And. Okay. That's fine with me. I just highlighted section, don't feel at all. I think the numbers are just.
Yeah.
So we need a motion accepting a a municipal tax rate of 0.5707, making the homestead tax $2.0496, $2.0496. I used to go in that part out with decimals on money here.
I'll make a motion that we set the tax rate at 0.5707 for the municipal tax rate. The Vermont has set the school tax at 1.7328 for the non-homestead, and the homestead is 1.4789, thus making the tax rate for the non-homestead properties at 2.3035, and the tax rate for the homestead properties at 2.0496.
They switched those.
I didn't switch it.
No, I did.
Oh,
The tax rate of 2.04, we set the non-homestead properties. 2.2.
oh, you did that.
Make sure that one gets shredded.
Start now.
He said it correct. I had the numbers are in the wrong,
So,
on the warrant, on
No,
the.
you didn't say you, but I was jumping around. I read it.
okay, so you make a motion to set a municipal tax rate for 0.5707.
Correct.
The Vermont state set the school tax rate at 1.7328 for non-homestead, 1.4789 for homestead, bringing the town homestead rate,
Total tax.
total tax to 2.0496 for homestead, just ignore that, 2.3035 for non-homestead.
Correct.
Okay. And you
Yeah.
made the motion.
For those, I made the motion. Just for informational purposes, for those people who are listening, we are given the school tax rate. We don't have a choice about that. The municipal rate of 0.5707 is to cover expenses that were voted and agreed upon on the last town meeting day.
So Lance has made a motion, we need a second.
I was second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of setting the municipal tax rate as specified, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. We will sign this in as the town tax rate. There's 2 spots for the signatures.
So Lance and Josh are signing,
All of us must sign.
awesome.
Yep. And then we give that to you. So we'll make everybody in town happy by sending out the tax bills, right?
Yes, I am. Just notify them that it's for tonight. Vera is coming in the morning. And we're going to enter this into Memorex. Because until it's set, we can't put it in the computer. We can't change it or run with it. Then we can start printing tax bills and sending them out. I'm going to need some help doing it. There's going to be adjustments. It will be done. We have to pull copies and send to the mortgage companies. And send copies to both the landowner and mortgage company.
Yep.
They're full copies and, adjust for people that have paid.
There's that.
So, plus all the photocopying.
Now, yeah, we discussed this earlier when we were talking about an assistant. We didn't think we were gonna hire an assistant, but this is also something that Tammy had done in the past.
Right, but it's a lot more, I don't know how much training's done,
Probably a lot more than I've done. So
Okay.
I did it,
Okay,
and I, attached payments to whatever and entered embedded data in. She said, put this in, I did, and so Abby did it all.
okay.
so it's been very nice, moves through it, there's a. Somebody. She kind of still trapped for grade.
Mhm.
She's very, very intelligent. She's been very, very helpful. Like I said, once we get it all printed out, then there's more work that needs to be done. It's not just printing it out, stuffing it in envelopes and sending it out.
Okay.
My thoughts, is, and I passed it by Vera. I'd like to ask for at least 20 hours for one person to come in and work with me late afternoons and evenings. That way I'm not tying up the copier. I'm not tying up where people are trying to work or people are coming in. So because there's 720 tax bills that have to go out. Like I said, we gotta pull them all, we gotta pull them, once we pull them all, we gotta photocopy them onto yellow paper and put them all in binders.
Yep.
There's a lot of work involved and it's, and honestly, I'm honest with you, I asked my granddaughter if you guys agree with it, if I could ask her to help. Because she could do it late afternoons and evenings. I've still gotta continue with my normal work on that, and I'd like to get them out within the week. Because it'll give people at least 2 months. Yes, they know they're coming. But I'm sure everybody's curious as to how that's going to, the new tax rates are gonna affect their taxes.
Yep. First of all, the concern of being in other people's way, this is your office. So don't worry about being in other people's way. This is your place. They're here doing research or whatever. So that,
Oh, it's not just people that come in, I mean, Kathy still has to do her job and function. Tammy and the listers are still coming in, and so it's just, doing it when there are less people that are in here, and that way I'm not tying up the copy machine, because, like I said, there's over 720 that have gotta be printed and photocopied, and I don't know how many more need to be pulled and photocopied for the banks, for escrow accounts. And then you get, I dare say, a handful, maybe a little more people that have paid in advance, and should get go in and adjust theirs. So there's a lot involved, and then certainly if I don't need it, I won't use it, but.
thoughts.
We need to get them out sooner rather than later. And to me, it entirely depends on who's helping. I mean, if you can get Vera to help you, absolutely.
Derek, If we ask her to,
I don't know if she would.
Vera is more than willing to help me get this entered in the system.
Yeah.
And then she's gonna give me the measurements and all that. She's not gonna come in and hold and stuff and. and
No, I wouldn't expect
all that. But it's just finding the time and having it work so that I don't have to be tripping over anybody or nobody's gonna be.
whoever's doing this is gonna have access to confidential or semi-confidential information. So whoever's doing it needs to be able to
I'm sure I am.
be discreet.
Yes.
Looking for a nice way to say that.
That's that, it's the making sure that you. Nobody's going to be, other than the people that we have to hold for, the mortgage companies and the people that we're holding. I don't think anybody's gonna sit there going, I certainly not. And be looking at, that's not even an option. You know, I think it would be very discreet. And discretion.
Yeah.
All right, we're not.
Yeah.
It's not like she's a child. It's not like she's a child, she's just 22 years old. So.
Mr. Chairman, do we have to make a decision on it this evening?
I'd like to because of the fact that
We've set the tax rate, she can start working on it tomorrow.
What about Sue, we've already interviewed?
Oh,
well,
We've already met and interviewed her.
it's a lesser treat, it's whoever I train, I'm gonna have to train somebody, and I have to say, I don't think Sue. I don't feel comfortable asking Sue after.
Is that?
I said I don't feel comfortable asking her. When she came in expecting to be interviewed and was here, when we said, oh, by the way, we're not hiring anybody.
I mean, that would put bills not coming out until, if we waited till the next select board meeting, bills wouldn't come out until the third week in August, probably, in all reality. So I personally feel that's too low. I don't want to rush the decision, but we need to come up with a solution before our next meeting.
Waiting for our next meeting. Let's really get it.
Now, what is it you're gonna be looking at this person do?
Mostly photocopying. Stuffing envelopes. Probably pulling, taking a list and going through as they're photocopying and pulling out the ones that whose names are on the list for the mortgage companies and making duplicate copies.
For
because-
escrows and
Right.
payment plans.
And very, very little interaction with the tax bills. I mean, it's not as if they're going to be reviewing, punching holes in it and putting it in binders and listing them alphabetically. I mean, it's
Okay. And in the past, we've hired somebody to do this.
In the past, all Vera and Abby pretty much did 90% of the work themselves. They may have had somebody help them stuff envelopes. Isn't that your experience, Danny?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, stuff envelopes, and when the taxes came in, you know, attaching to, taking a check, attaching to a thing, putting in certain files. And everything like
yeah,
that.
and this is just getting the taxes out. I have no, I haven't looked long-term down here on the day we start collecting taxes. taxes as to who or how many people and who's it gonna be, that's gonna be there to collect taxes. That's the question for another day.
And it'll be October 4th this year, right?
Yeah,
Those sheets right here.
Okay. I'll stick my neck out. I'm okay with it as long as she's not accessing confidential information, as long as she's punching holes, making photocopies, filing stuff, stuffing envelopes. I'm okay with it.
and that's all it's gonna be.
But that's just my personal opinion. There's 3 other select board members. Okay.
Yeah, I mean. I'd like to minimize the hours. You know, I think this is something that it is part of this job, it's part of this treasurer's position.
I'm not saying I'm not gonna be working, right?
No, I completely understand that, this is, well, Abby was here for how many years? 3, and Jared was here for
Long time.
Long time.
and it's just, this is the first time I think we've been asked to add an extra 20 hours of payment for a job that's been getting done for years.
But you have to understand, I helped Vera when I was assistant,
Right,
so there's always been an assistant. And even, like Vera said, she has had to do it by herself sometimes, and it's taken her a couple of days.
yeah,
I'm just throwing that ballpark.
Oh,
figure.
it's gonna take a little time just to stuff 720 envelopes. We understand that. But we'd like to, I agree with Josh, I'd like to minimize the expense
Yes,
as much as possible.
we didn't actually budget for an assistant treasurer even. I mean, that was the other issue we were having there is, so. Yeah, I would be okay with 10 hours max. And I think we have a set limit on that of $15 an hour. So. It's clerical work, you know, it's not,
oh,
so I mean, I
I don't think that's an unreasonable amount,
okay,
stuffing envelopes.
yeah,
My main concern is it's probably gonna be more than 10, what happens if it goes over 10?
if it goes over 10 and it takes 2 days to get the bills out, it takes 2 days to get the bills out.
Mr. Chairman, I'll come in and help.
Okay. I mean, if we're talking the difference between everything going out on Wednesday or everything going out on Thursday, if that day of receiving your tax bill makes in July, beginning of August, determines whether or not you can pay your taxes on October 4th.
I don't think it makes a determination.
That's what I'm getting at.
But I'd like to,
I agree. I don't disagree with that. I like getting my tax bill early too, so I can go home with it early. But whether I get it on Wednesday or Thursday won't typically make a difference to
it's
me.
not to scale
Yeah,
it up. But
so I think I would be willing to approve 10 hours at $15 an hour for somebody to come in and do clerical work, stuffing envelopes and punching holes. That's where I'm at.
Thank you.
Okay, I make a motion that we approve a assistant to the treasurer, not an assistant treasurer, but an assistant to the treasurer for no more than 10 hours to get out tax bills at a rate of $15 an hour And that would be this week is what you're saying.
When you have a shoot for it, I better go to Williston and get paper.
Okay. Williston's only an hour down, hour back. Should,
No, but it's just taking time out.
yep.
I thought you guys
just-
not feel.
No, I don't. But Kathy said, I'm gonna have to go to Williston and get it. Regular paper.
Just asking.
No, that's not something that can be ordered. WD Mason next day delivery.
I don't even know if they make deliveries here.
Yeah, they do.
Do they?
They drive by, must be.
I don't see it.
I can get out one night this week.
So Josh makes a motion that you approve an assistant to the treasurer at a rate of $15 an hour for a max of 10 hours that Audrey chooses.
Correct.
Accept the motion.
Brenda, can you leave me your number in case I run into?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna need additional hours.
I can fold like no tomorrow.
What's that?
I can fold and stuff like no tomorrow.
So all those in favor of the motion that's been made and seconded, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Okay, now. If someone, with any questions or concerns that you have over this, if you get them to me, I will do research.
I think, well, did you make notes on yours? Is
She can
that-
hit me up for.
Okay, and then did you make notes on yours?
No, just,
Okay, so you gave your notes to, so.
Yeah, I just.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if Lance can give you his notes tomorrow when he comes up, and you can just look at the highlighted areas that we talked about. And again, that's not priority, we've got the tax rate set, priority would be
Priority is gonna be getting the taxes.
get the tax bills out, actually,
And it means that we get the same spreadsheet next time.
we're okay with that.
Yeah, we're okay with it. Just,
Tax bills are priority number one as well.
Absolutely, yeah, but that's.
Mac would disagree, he'd like his paycheck, with the warrant, but, yeah, tax bills.
Especially if you're gonna send a tax bill.
Yeah, yep, yeah, and even if you could just give us, send us an email, just the whole select word saying, tax bills are out and done, that way we can just, we're on top of everything, and we know what's going on, and you have all of our emails, I believe, on the file somewhere.
I don't, but I can find
Kathy has them, I guarantee it, she sends me all sorts of, if not, well, Tammy can help you with that too, so.
Yeah, I got
them.
it.
Sure, I can track it down,
Excellent.
yes.
Any others for Audrey? All right,
All right, I'm reading.
have a good night, Audrey, enjoy the heat.
have a good one.
Visitors, good enough. Just the camera guy over there. Only the camera guy over there.
Who's live and virtually, we have the.
Oh, Indiana, I do not, Rod. No Dan today.
Really? So pick on it too much.
Yeah, we can-
Road reports. We've kind of already talked about the mowers in, got a day on it, so.
we move on one road, past it, I noticed.
Nice.
Like for the water.
Bill, working good?
Seems to be, I haven't seen him today since he took off. But I'm
What's
assuming-
working good?
Did you come back yet?
Road tech.
Wait till you ask to pull the sickle back and ask him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then March in the pit this week, because I was gonna take a week off till FEMA got in the way again. Got a while, he's starting to sort stones, rescreen stones for sizing, so he's gonna be busy this week finishing that up.
The screen is back up and running good,
The
though.
screener's running good, let's see. FEMA?
Did that, no?
We're coming down on it. We've got our materials. We got a workbook on the materials is pretty well set. We got a two discrepancies on labor and forced account labor and forced account equipment that we're gonna track down. We'll be working on that tomorrow.
Discrepancies between what we submitted and what we have documented.
We haven't submitted anything
Okay.
officially, so just trying to get the two documents to match up.
What Paul wrote down for DDD and Paul wrote down for workbook and what our workbook was, plus what we had hard numbers for.
Okay.
He sized the whole, we got the gravel all lined up now, we just have to, there's a few.
And that's like the guys that came in and helped us in the
That's
situation.
everybody, that's anything we've done except for Jordan, Whitney, and Culver. Waterville and any of the contract and stuff, with not,
Okay.
that's everything. If we don't have it done by Thursday, next week, kill me or something.
Yeah. Almost down.
We'll give that also for the tax rate.
I gave that back to Audrey actually. Okay, so,
Those are, that's plus or minus 2,000.
okay,
These numbers are softer.
okay, and this is the one that's basically checked out for 145.
That's what the total for project 69693 issues.
Okay.
And that is all the loose ends tied together and thrown into one bucket. That's why it's so damn hard. There's 9 different projects in that one.
Some of them are easy, I mean,
Yeah.
just Bakersfield, suckle,
Yeah,
1 hour with arm backhoe, 1 hour with truck, 1400 hour, that's simple, but when you start going to Whitney, and the numbers for gravel have to line up with what he wrote down on the DVD.
Okay. And he got your accurate numbers, your numbers that you gave
Well,
him, or,
we're gonna give it to him again, because he's
Yeah.
missed a few things and.
okay,
yeah, I mean, quite honestly, he's had some mathematical errors, and we've had to track those down. For some reason, it's our responsibility to track his mistakes down.
check, double check, and recheck again.
Yeah,
Better than the last one.
Yep,
yeah.
okay. Well, at least one step closer, is that what I'm hearing basically, yep.
And
Yeah, we should have that in for submittal by the end of the,
Okay,
that was just.
we're meeting with him what? Monday, what do we just said?
No, Thursday,
Our vacation next Thursday, this week?
yes, this week.
great.
Okay.
That's why we're working on it tomorrow.
Okay.
But we got a total on that project, plus or minus $145,000. FEMA will pay us in short order, 75% of that, which is about 108, plus or minus, plus, I think, it's a little over 108. The state will eventually pay us 12.5% of that.
That's when everything's done.
Everything.
Everything.
Which
I think everything added up. No, it's not, because that doesn't, it's over $1 million. So you gotta add engineering into that. We got that, what's that last one, we haven't looked at? Cat Z report, which is,
So for this number here, though, it only leaves us on the hook. for
that's one
about
project.
10,000 on that project.
Yeah. 6.5% of it.
Yeah. 10% will be 14, so.
One, two, six.
You're paying us for.
Yeah, for the amount of work that they put in.
Yeah, and it's all paid for already, so.
Yeah, all this stuff is. So that check, when it comes, will go directly into the FEMA loan account. As will the money for Jordan. Demolition of the bridge.
We're not gonna make any.
The money for
It's
Cook
faster
Road.
than it's all gonna be.
We'll make some.
Good.
No,
So
10%,
we got
but there's only 6.5% that it's gonna take us to.
Oh, make one.
73.
He allowed us 50,000 for Jordan, and that doesn't include the culvert.
Okay.
Okay.
What was the coverage?
one was 5, one was 9 maybe.
Yeah,
So
so
I think Trowbridge was 5, and I think,
14,000, close enough. And then, Jordan was 57.
but that's a.
So we've got another 70, no, plus 73,000. Yeah, so we'll have a couple $100,000 coming in
Set up a new one.
eventually.
I don't remember if we had this the last time. He set up 2 new projects for us, one to pay the engineering up front, and then to pay the engineering from now on. So the money that we paid Tyler is 125. Is in a, it's been fast forwarded, it should be going toward the state fairly soon. That's-
We're gonna have further expenses to Tyler.
Right.
Box culvert and the steel bridge and possibly Waterville. But that's gonna be given to us separately, from separate account. So we don't have to wait for it.
We'll still have to pay for it up front, but then we'll get 100% reimbursement.
100%.
And of course, there's the big bridge project.
Right. And do we have a start date, estimated start date?
For,
Go back.
not for go back, right? Goodhue showed up Friday, he dropped the culvert off from Jordan on Friday. He wanted to do Waterville, or, peck it out, pour the cement, then go down and do down there, but he's having a problem getting the cap to the top of Waterville. So he's going to start, he said he was gonna start it today, I don't know if he did or not, he was waiting for it. Okay, he was waiting for the smell of the chicken manure that we got dumped on the Jordan Road to dissipate a little bit.
Is that what everyone's complaining about?
Yeah.
Where's the King Road, they got that,
Domes.
Well, it's only about
Yeah,
200 feet
we're-
south of his, work
Isn't
zone.
Isn't there used to be one Fairfax? Is there still one?
No, that's, where we're doing it.
Otherwise, it's up by Hodge.
Where they got that much of
I don't know. Dan seems to think it's over towards. The Comberg or?
There's one up there somewhere.
Just across the border in New York, maybe.
Probably.
Some big chicken farms over
Okay.
there. Yeah.
It does smell.
Good stuff. Any others on the roads?
The only other question I would,
Not for me.
we're gonna
But not
front page,
complex.
just $1,075
Yeah, old
repair fund,
every spring, clean boots.
and that screener came out to 3 something, maybe
35,
Yeah.
isn't it?
31 something, where you wanna.
What line are you on then?
On the
It was
front page. Front page, Josh.
Yep, we're there now.
Okay. I don't know if that's
What happened to the screener?
22 years old.
Oh,
No,
just that,
Yeah, it was just,
like an overhaul type thing.
Maybe.
and we were straining around a little rock and down through, ripped the feeder belt, so the feeder belt was destroyed. And the discharge belt had some patches in it, we've been looking off for years. Just figured it was.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go down, might as well get everything fixed at once, so.
Yeah, that's not to say something.
Now, I know the new equipment, and we also talked about that. Helping wood repairs, yes. Wasn't that what it was doing? No,
Yeah,
Say it again.
No.
the new equipment. If we.
no, because there's an equipment repair fund, but yes, we could use this if we had an emergency.
Right, well, in $2,000 under budget in July, it's,
That's what the town wants for.
yeah,
Remember, this is why we,
right,
okay,
operation, yep.
this is why we,
So, do you want like a definite where to take it from that, or?
I'm just wondering,
that should come out of the town.
so I'll have to transfer it from the TAN loan to, okay,
The screener,
yeah, into the repair fund for that bill.
wasn't that on the repair fund board?
It is, but there's, according to the front page of her thing, it was only
Only $1,000.
$1,000 left in that fund. Now, whether that's a hard number, I don't know.
No. what do we have for repairs? So you're gonna have insurance for it, so.
Well,
The tank.
there was a lot of things that got reviewed on the budget on that paper. And there was quite a few questions, so that may not be an accurate number.
That's what I'm saying. We might have to go back to our original budget.
I think Kathy just has to look in the checkbook. They
Yeah,
got a separate
Okay.
checkbook.
Yeah, there's an easy way to check that.
I just don't know without Kathy, I don't know if that's a hard number or if that's, you know, again, that could be what was,
Be nice to.
you know, I'm not sure. I mean, I know anything we've done, yeah, I know I saw that, I didn't want,
if Mac, is that something you check with Kathy tomorrow?
oh, yeah.
If she can shoot us an email just saying, hey, this is what the actual was and we're good.
That
we
is
don't
the
have-
actual one, just tell her to take it out of, tell her to take it out of the game,
Yeah, and then we'll have to,
adjust accordingly.
yeah, 'cause I don't feel like I feel like you've actually been running pretty smooth this
We've
year.
been running pretty smooth, but we've been also, anything we've done as far as, you know, truck number one, it's all been coming out of the repair, because we didn't have we had repair, and we had two last year, right? We had a repair fund and
Right, but we combined them
right, that's what I mean,
and should actually give you more.
and that's why,
Right, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
that's why
I thought we,
it's been getting nickel and dime.
Okay,
It seemed like there was a couple of,
I feel like it was
I
35
feel
in
like
that
there's
though.
nothing
oh,
there.
yeah, I thought there was quite a bit in there too.
Yeah, I feel
We had some number,
like 35 was the number that we
Yes,
in,
so I thought 35.
so we're gonna try to keep it at that number for the year.
Right.
Only raise it back up what we use.
Right, exactly.
That's why.
Because this year we had used down to 28, right? We
Last
brought it up
year,
to,
yeah,
last
last
year
year
we
we
brought it up to
Yeah,
35.
But whatever next year's,
There's no way,
there's no
That's why I
way.
say that.
Yeah, I don't believe that number is accurate.
I'll ask Kathy.
Yep, that'd be
so
great.
we
Thank you.
combined the equipment repair fund with what this last time?
You don't recall that,
I don't remember. It's in the minutes from when we did the budget last year.
it's what it's what we took out of the pay, we paid the trucks and then paid the bills with that and.
Yeah,
I don't know.
equipment reimbursement or something like that, something. It, this simplified
There was a
it.
maintenance something, wasn't
It could have been maintenance.
Yeah.
Then we decided to take all.
So
the
none of the roads are in bad shape though, as far
One
as,
real caught a little bit, it came back out of that same place, but it went right back in really quick, and we done that 2-inch rain we had, other than that, little bit of improvement, but very
it?
little.
Remember that double?
Yeah, it went in before the double, it came out where it started the first time.
Yep.
But it got right back in, I haven't never seen it, but
Yeah,
Dave
the
said.
other side is that,
access driveway.
driveway axle, that's it.
No, it didn't come through that culvert, it comes out the driveway,
Okay, right down the driveway?
same way we did before.
And then it blows.
Yes, okay.
And then it blows out the side of the road because the ditch is, yeah, okay. So it's not that issue with the access culvert.
No, it's an issue with the access itself.
The access, okay,
Yeah, there's no difference before it hits the road.
right, yeah, straight.
He didn't have a water bar, I don't know if it's been flattened a little too much, or there was a water bar, just a ways.
Can we, are we working up that way at all? You know, the grader, the loader, anything been up that way or heading up that way in the
Not
future?
really, but we could.
Well, just next time we're up there, it wouldn't take much to drop the blade of the grader and make a pretty good water bar there, just to,
What
maybe
are-
even a couple.
What are we
slow
gonna do when Scott gets up there to do that culvert? If he needs access with that sap line? Should we tell him to just take it down, or should we?
I think we should definitely notify lawyers that it's a possibility,
It is below it, but
yeah. That it's a possibility that it may get taken down. He shouldn't have,
he shouldn't, but I'm just saying,
worst case scenario.
It depends, how big of excavator is he gonna have up there, did he say?
140
I
probably.
imagine the full
Because
size.
those are precast slabs, they're gonna be set down.
Quite a big hole.
yeah.
He has a 140 or 160 volt.
Okay. I mean, depending on who delivers it, crane truck from the set.
Right. I'm guessing so.
I'm
If there's
What-
room.
I'm wondering if we call lawyers, ask them to take them down for that short amount of time, there should be a connection there.
Yeah, it should be.
if there's a connection there.
It'd probably be smarter to warn them and let it be their call.
Yeah.
Cause if
Okay,
it happens and then something happens and nobody, and then it can come back and say, well, you know, if you just told me, I'd have those out of the way.
Yeah, let Scott make,
This would give them the decision
let
to,
him look at it and say, yeah, I need to go out of the way or not, don't worry about it.
I feel better, Lance, if we made,
yeah, me too.
Maybe
if
whatever.
we just, yeah, if we call,
Yeah.
you know, I'm the one to call Kevin. And be like, Kevin, this is what's going on, we're replacing the culverts up there, we're not sure what kind of equipment's coming in. It's precast, giving you a forewarning that if you want to take that down, so it doesn't get tore down on accident,
We don't
you
think-
have time to do it.
We don't think it will, but
We don't think it will, but just know that if you wanna take the step to be safe or to be,
yeah.
you know, not have to replace something,
You feel comfortable calling me,
I can call it.
Or this is who's doing the work, if you wanna reach out and talk to him.
Yeah, I just feel like if we don't reach out, then we would be,
Sometimes the excavator operator goes like that.
Yeah, I know. Believe me, you talk about getting power lines all the time.
Yeah.
It grabs their attention.
I don't know the time drops.
You don't have to
I just, you know,
understand that.
precast, that's all, and then be a fairly good sized old truck.
Yeah, they're,
Yeah.
Kent only has one crane left.
Okay, so I mean, if it shows up with a straight boom crane, he's gonna.
Yeah.
I don't know if that road.
Yeah.
White House, is that really, but,
Oh, that'd be cool.
yeah, but I can call him, that's not a big deal.
You'll have, what, probably one cement truck up there for the sidewalls?
The
Shouldn't take
footings,
much, yeah. Shouldn't take
And
much for that.
when's the projected, next week?
I don't know.
I
He
would
didn't
think,
know. He was still waiting for Kent to make the top.
Okay,
And so I don't know how long that stuff's cured. I'm sure he wouldn't start it till it was cured and had a delivery date. He had mentioned something about possibly going to Ireland. If he was.
it was backing him up that much,
yep,
okay.
So I think it was the same with Whitney box too.
So,
He come to camp with both of them.
so I could have him call,
Yeah.
reach out to
Scott
Scott.
Scott could probably give him a better date.
One phone number,
Yeah, if you got it,
their cell phone names. The best number is a cell phone.
yep,
It is 743-2364.
Just a walking phone attraction.
He is.
you want to give me his phone number, just so I can.
527.
Hold on a second.
Yep, 1230.
Yeah, he's up, yeah, he lives up past,
Thursday.
you know,
Oh, that's,
The boys.
yeah, he lives up past Wright's farm, you know. He just drives down the road.
we have his boys number too. Austin's.
Well, I'll see him on Wednesday, so I start.
Did they build up there?
Yes,
This is Kevin.
no, those are Scott Good, he's the guy that's doing the excavation. I'm gonna call Kevin, and give him Scott's info, so he can reach out. Just do it.
Bill says still says favorable.
Yeah. Well, he was Friday, saying built up by Ridgely's on the other side of the road. That's
It's right there, right after you go around that, the corner there with that little stretch of woods.
So we got that. Yeah. Set up there or something maybe.
All right, no others on roads,
Yes,
questions, comments, concerns?
so remember before I talked about Alan Hurlbut complaining,
Oh, yeah.
and I didn't know. It's the paved portion. The potholes that are in the paved portion.
Yeah.
He said he came here before and complained about it. And that Mark had told him,
I don't know.
Well, if he came here, complaining, Mark commented it wasn't here, it was down there.
oh, he said he came to a meeting.
Not that I even reckon.
I don't know when, had to been before we got here, because he hasn't been here since I've been
I
here.
would have moved that anymore.
yeah, not recently, you're right.
Right. So,
Okay, so,
We had mentioned ripping that up from Todd's to the thing, and he says, you're not gonna tear that blacktop up, that's what he tells us. You can't rip that up.
very good.
Well, that's what I thought. We also have some wrap that what you gave us, we were gonna try to lay some of that in.
That works pretty good.
That's-
It'll pack.
Peel back in, that's what we're gonna try first. We gotta put some more, we did it once and it really helped, and then we put gravel this spring and it's kind of worn out. Yeah, if we can put the wrap in there and get it rolling.
It don't wash out like gravel, it rains.
Just fast, well, just.
Real long.
Yeah.
I put wrap in blacktop, blacktop area.
Really, they give you that.
That's what we're
I tried that.
It was 6, 8 low. Looks pretty good.
But we can't.
So what is it, because of the way it's ditched, that it's doing it, or
It's
just,
just
The sub base, the sub base is terrible.
It's not up to what it was, and then push south first from.
April and March and April.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at that section of road, Gary, I mean, you've got swamp on one side, and
no,
then swamp
yeah,
on the other side.
And that really hasn't changed
It has,
over the last couple of years.
I do next time, I just have it ground up. We get there to Duffy Hill, they pour gravel, and lay gravel on top of blacktop and chew it all
That's
out,
what we did out here.
chew it all out, and then put, 4 inches of blacktop on top.
Looks like you put a full pavement.
Alan West is one.
Paving grants, plus your gravel.
It is
about
one.
that 100 yards.
No, it's usually matched, right. But what's our share usually in paving grants?
On paving grant,
Yeah, or class 2 work. 20%. That's 820.
and I was planning on going on,
I was gonna say, I think
I was planning on going
Boston,
on.
yeah, receives more travel.
Well, especially for me, for going past the Jarvis farm, at Audrey's house.
Are they gonna get out minutes this year?
I don't know if he did or not.
I haven't seen it.
Last I heard, he was, anybody that was supposed to get him last year, was gonna get him this year, and he only was last year. I don't believe he's doing grants, as far as.
I play.
so we are looking into finding a solution for it.
Eventually. Oh, well, if the wrap is a solution, then, yeah, absolutely. And I think
It's gonna be a temporary solution, but it's gonna be, really rapid. Building off
in there, it should pack, like I said, it'll pack better than gravel goes away.
Cause didn't Brandon, isn't that where Brandon's packed? The potholes, where did they do the
He
potholes?
was back towards, Redwood, across from East. He put some in that first pothole, and he did some small, he put a little bit in there, but it looked like he did the shovel type thing, he had some real, instead of dumping oil. Where did we put it? We might have put some of that 3 in. But whatever it was, it's beaten out now with the rain.
Yeah, 3 years old.
Mhm.
Yeah,
A little water, so.
that's. Well,
Of course, you can't grade it, because,
that's why the other time we did it over there, we took it over and moved the bucket loader, you know, and.
Spread
level
back,
it,
right, yeah. Yeah. That one's gonna be our hard one to repair, but. Got faith in your full wrap over there, get it
It's
better, get it better.
Yeah,
I think it was next.
I couldn't remember what he called it. And then he's like, no, East Bakersfield Road. I was like, that's not the name he said. The other thing was, I've had a bunch of people question what that piece of equipment we just purchased does more. How are you finding it holding up?
So far, perfect, it's very well built machine.
They mowed all my road, all the master
We
road.
put it on Friday, we mowed Friday, we tested it out Friday, in Kingsville and, over as far as, Waterville. And then today, applied the sales, we went Waterville, Benton's, Arnold's, you know, hitting that, and then probably more over East Bakersfield, but it's very rugged. Piece of machine, well, piece of attachment, I do,
I don't know a thing about it, so
We got one
you
that
can
goes.
tell me.
You got it.
Close.
Just like what they use, they use from old hay, with old hay.
Yeah.
Right, that's what I thought.
Just more.
And some people were saying that they had tried it in different towns and found it.
It probably depends on the road size, like.
It won't stand up to a cutting brush. I mean, you can cut stuff thumb size with it all day. You try and get bigger than that, and it'll break a knife eventually.
It'll easily do what Jeff's been doing the last 4 or 5 years. And that's something that's.
No way.
Well,
Well, so then it won't do, like, I know like Willie and Stacy's, like their trees that they
You
can't,
went by with a sickle bar up like this and turn.
so you can do it that way,
You can do it that
Little branches.
little, but you can't do,
right?
you know, you're not gonna get the stuff that other mower will get eventually if you get somebody to run it, or we get a tractor in the future.
Right.
And brush hog it, that's a brush hog which would do from 6 or 7 feet out,
That blade would change.
that's a blade.
So he is doing some of the,
Yeah, or you can, you do it.
Okay.
Anything that's really hanging over, he's doing it.
I know we've had our silver on over 10 years, it's still, we do our roadside of it. Brush, it's crap.
All five.
Every once in a while, I get some, well, there's a whole muffler in here, something you catch it.
Is that all 5 miles or twice, so 10 miles? Oh. Any others?
those are the only two I have.
Okay. Anybody else? I like it. Review the mail. I didn't see it on mail and
I don't think there was any.
I like that too.
Somebody thought we had mail all over this table. What the heck?
No, that's the famous stuff.
That's our famous stuff,
Oh,
and it was all.
I can't even remember who, somebody asked me at the store, and I was like,
If you look over the top of it.
I don't know, I haven't been up there.
The pile of it is all female.
Oh, that must have been.
There's nothing in the mail, the new mail folder,
Yeah, I didn't look on my way by.
and the stuff that wasn't in the old.
Okay. That brings us to select board compensation for additional projects. There's a topic.
I'm gonna recuse myself from this.
That's not very helpful.
We're probably gotta accuse myself too, because when the ARPA funds come
No,
in,
that's super helpful. You guys are just pulling out today.
we still got a
I
forum.
didn't hear what you said.
They're both recusing themselves. You don't have one of these, that's why you don't. Board business,
Compensation for people work.
section B.
Oh,
ARPA
mhm.
rate. And
In all of those situations that I've seen where this requires extra select board member work, it's, what's the word called? Not renewable,
That's how it reads.
reimbursement.
reimbursable,
This is 100% reimbursable by the.
and I'm pretty sure the
We are.
ARPA plan is also reimbursable.
So eventually, initially it would cost out of pocket, but eventually.
And I talked to Abby, said she's been on vacation.
Say that again.
Abby said she has more bills for her work.
Right,
Oh,
and we have
okay.
that kind of seat forward right now, waiting for.
So,
So just basically, so the ARPA has an administrative fund, right, so that's what it would come out of. Okay.
so personal opinion, since it's 3 of us talking, I feel that if it's reimbursable by the entity that you're working for, then why not? I mean, it's gonna cost the town up front, but it's all gonna be reimbursed.
Now, I got a
100%.
question. Doesn't FEMA have like a pay schedule for everything?
I don't, they do it for everything, I don't know if they've got administrative on
Because
that.
I thought when we did, even when we had our, over there, people had our
You like.
rain windstorm, I thought we got, like, I did administrative.
You don't
Or
want to
anything.
take,
I thought we got fees.
You could get.
Sherry, you don't want to take anything.
Oh, I know, I'm just saying that they're high. I'm just
Okay.
saying.
But I
We have
thought
to go
FEMA
back and
didn't
go
want the
back.
select board involved.
What's that?
What happened to that? When they said they didn't want the select board,
As the main contact.
Right.
That's
right?
why Matt's our main contact.
Huh?
Matt is the main contact.
No, I know, but I thought when we first initially, they said that nobody on the board,
They didn't want.
they
to run
didn't
it.
want.
They
anyone
prefer,
on
they
the
didn't
board.
want, quote unquote, they didn't want any interfering select board members
Right,
on this board.
right.
Yes, they did, and that was way back in
When the storm hit.
December meeting we had at the police barracks, December 19th.
And that's why we put Abby, Mac, and, yeah, just Abby and
Well,
Mac.
we had Lance sitting in for.
We didn't put you on there though, but you kept going to them.
I think we put him on there.
I beg to differ.
I don't recall us voting on,
You weren't there.
but I do recall you going to the meetings after that was said.
You were on the board, you started way back when. it started.
No, but when we talked about it in December,
No, December 10th,
No, December
2019.
2 years ago.
no, this was when I was on the board and we talked about how, because
Were you on the board in December of 2019?
19,
Yeah, that's when you're talking.
No.
When we were originally-
no, I know, that's what he's talking about, but I'm talking about when I was on the board, it was brought up that they didn't want any of us select board members.
No, it
On
was
the
brought
FEMA.
up in 2019.
We might have
Came from Abby.
we might have talked about it though, is what, I think what you're saying is we
Yes.
talked about
We
it.
talked about it.
We had already,
Cause we
We'd
had
already
another
been-
guy,
right, but we'd
Another
already
guy.
been dealing with it for
They didn't
a
want-
year and a half at that.
right,
They
And
didn't
Lance
want a
has been
select
going.
board member running the show, that's what they didn't
Right.
want. They wanted.
That's why Matt had to be,
And the road commissioner.
Matt had to be
They
the
don't
first contact. And then Abby was the finance, and Lance had been doing all the research and everything, so he was in there and helping out and. It's, yeah, it was the three of them right up until Abby got done,
Then it's just the two of us.
but it was the three of them since the start. I can tell it well, were you on at that point then?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
I think you've got it complex as Abby left.
Because I remember, because I was in Indianapolis when the whole thing happened, and,
so they're okay with a select board member being on
yeah.
Yeah.
What he's doing, absolutely.
He's not the main
He's not like
contact, Matt's the main
I'm
contact.
not signing for everything. That's Matt, he's the
He doesn't sign it.
contact, the official contact.
Abby signed and now I signed, he's the official.
And I'll be honest with you, I think that's the first one I've seen come through.
So, and how do we decide on hours?
Written hours. You can write it out.
What do you mean, like the hours you work?
Right,
I think it all depends on what the job requires. I mean, like, he went out for the initial inspections to meet with FEMA officers, just using you as an example.
Mhm.
And I may not know everything he did, and then he's had
no,
meetings on
no,
top of
I'm
meetings.
saying, how do you know, like, are we setting a certain amount of hours a week that's worked on this? How do
Well,
the
no, you don't
hours?
wanna do that if you ever wanna get paid.
You can't set an hour limit, it's just, we gotta make the numbers, meet the numbers and it's.
But we gotta have the money to be able to pay him before he gets reimbursed,
That's not a problem.
so where are we taking that from?
Yeah, the loan.
Out of FEMA loan.
You have a FEMA loan.
Oh, we have a FEMA loan?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and the ARPA funds will come ahead. You know, so we'll actually have that money before, well,
ARPA allows for administrative expenses.
Gotcha.
and I think that's a stipulation, is we, you know. We receive pay for those that are reimbursable.
So it would be Abby, myself, and Lance. So anything I've gotten paid for since we started doing administrative work will be also reimbursed.
And Abby's involved, she's all.
Abby's all in the book with her papers.
Yeah.
So I mean, yes, I mean, I've been
So
paid,
is that, alright, so you're getting paid through FEMA and the town?
I'm getting paid through the town right now. When we put in for the Cat Z, the town will get reimbursed for what I've done. So you'll actually make money on it, that way.
Gotcha.
And I mean, it's just, everything is fully refundable on the
Yeah.
Cat Z.
It's a shell game.
Right,
Yes,
yeah,
it is.
oh, absolutely, you gotta pay me before I pay you.
You know,
So you keep track of your hours too then, as far as what's FEMA?
Paperwork. Even work, I got paid, you know what I mean, as a worker, that's on.
And you get reimbursed for that too.
the town does.
Town is reimbursed by fee for what, anything the town laborers, the town equipment, the town gravel. That's all what we're working on right now, to get the money back from FEMA.
We pay what, 25%, right?
75%.
So most of the revenues there, and
The
then.
state pays 12.5%, the town ends up
No, I
paying
know.
16.
I get that.
But I also think we kind of, I mean, I know this is the example, but we kind of strayed away from the actual question. Because it's not necessarily just FEMA, FEMA's the example we have right now, we also have the ARPA funds. So the question is, select board compensation for additional projects. my recommendation is projects that allow for compensation, reimbursement for compensation of, I don't know.
Administrative work,
Administrative.
I think, would be the best way to put it.
Anybody have a better wording? No. And is that something we're interested in? Because theoretically it costs the town up front, but it's all reimbursed. So we're not,
Right.
if it's not covered under FEMA disaster,
Well, I think
Go.
you have to look at each, because what if you come across a project there, you say we're gonna pay them $15 an hour, but you come across a project that only pays $10 an hour. But you've already said you're gonna pay 15 if somebody takes on that awning project.
Well, usually the FEMA, FEMA usually is a lot higher than what we pay.
Yeah,
so.
No, I know, but I'm saying if
You
you make
won't-
it a full umbrella,
If it's a
you
federal,
might not get in your next project that you're on, you might not get a reimbursement of that much money.
So you could say wages to match reimbursement limits.
yeah,
Well,
Yes.
but if you were to do that, if you were to say wages to match reimbursement limits, then
why would we do that?
no, because then
They've got
he'd get
to-
35, 40 bucks an hour for the work that he's done with FEMA right now. So I'm pretty sure that's what their rates are.
That's fine, as long as they pay it.
Yep.
It's up to 5% of the total, isn't that what it is?
it's up to 5% of the total, project cost. The total project cost is estimated going to be around 1.25, somewhere around there. And that's everything.
So
So,
$1 million, you pay 5% of that, and we can get up to that much in.
You're gonna have him over his retirement budget and he's not gonna be able to do it anyway.
Oh, he hasn't been that much time.
Oh,
But working with him for the last 2 weeks, I'm telling you what, don't undersell him. He's almost probably a piece of a calculator over here once.
yeah, there was a casualty.
My phone only went for a ride today.
Can't go to the 3 presenters?
so
I kept screwing up on me, I just lost it.
I would just do it as the two projects and not have a full umbrella out there. If this is a project that we're talking about, then let's decide
I
what
think
he's
that's
gonna
what
get
I
paid
said.
for that
yeah,
project.
I'm thinking
So
what you're saying is reimbursable.
yeah, I would say only reimbursable projects.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
So if we had another natural disaster in 6 months,
Good luck
And
finding
and
volunteers.
it goes through FEMA,
You get
then we
the-
would know that, whether it's me, you, Lance,
And
Gary, Brenda, doesn't matter.
Start.
You start keeping track of your hours, and it's gonna, if FEMA approves it, if they don't approve it, then it's not reimbursable, then thank you for your time, congratulations, you're a select board member.
Yeah.
That's, but if it's reimbursable, I think it only makes sense. Personal thing, I'm not making a motion here or anything, I'm just throwing out my ends over here running calculations.
He's looking for cost cuts too, I couldn't find.
Oh, you were looking for the pay scale?
Yeah.
That's scary. That's what I heard, is that it's scary.
Yeah, oh no, definitely. Some of the things
They were hiring FEMA people in the northern Vermont at $35.
So
That was just in the paper. Sharon.
Well, I'm just
You want
surprised
to-
that they don't,
they don't say this is what we're gonna pay.
right?
And I would almost guarantee it, if
Like
you
knowing
look,
that
if he
Lance
finds,
is on the project and Max on the project, I'm surprised they don't, I mean, it's been since 2019 and they haven't had anything.
and I guarantee when he finds it, it's not gonna say,
Well,
this is what we
it
reimburse.
is-
It's just project specialized at $14 to $38 estimated,
It's
emergency
in the
manager
project.
17 to 45.
17 to 45.
So I mean,
You asked for reimbursement for administrative fees close to the end.
so you said the last thing, you don't fill this out in between times and do it till everything done, he said. I don't know why that was, but it must be because when bridge work comes in and whatnot, we could have time on, it should be
Right.
minimal, but he didn't want us to fill that out till the end.
only three of us, so we either,
I'm gonna throw it out there, you're paying Abby 25.
okay. I'm glad you threw that out there, because I didn't know. I probably did, but I would have to go back to the minutes or the. Okay, so. Being the three of us, I make a motion that we pay for reimbursable jobs, reimbursable projects, select board members who are working those projects, required to work those projects.
You got all this equipment and stuff, you know.
What, 20 pages now?
$25, well,
We need a Sikorsky helicopter, is that first thing for that, so.
an hour to track that information. For their reimbursable hours. Motion. which would
I'll
require-
second it.
We have a motion and a second, there are only three of us that can vote. All those in favor, or if there's any more discussion,
Well, I think we should do it by the project. I don't think, because you don't know what if the next project doesn't pay $25 an hour? Cause you put it as $25 an hour.
so amendment to the motion. $25 or max amount allotted. Not to exceed $25 an hour. So if the ARPA fund says that you max out at $20 an hour, that's the pay. If they say 17 to 45, 25. Does that work?
That works.
Got that all in those, in that motion?
So I'll choke it up.
Okay.
So
Well,
can
it's a
you,
motion that say for reimbursable projects,
Maybe if you.
the select board members required to work those projects.
I did my work back in the, windstorm.
$25 an hour for reimbursable. Amended. $25 an hour or max amount allotted, not to exceed $25 an hour.
that sound right? Even people that are good at staying. Get your input on that, does that sound right? Is there anything that I worded that correctly? Is what I'm asking. Okay. Back at second.
Yes.
Okay, I wasn't sure if that maybe means. All those in favor? Aye. Any
Is that
opposed?
nice?
Yeah.
Any opposed? Alright,
Okay. And I got one sheet of paper, so.
good.
Very small.
I
It's
think,
birds.
can I,
Down here,
Use the
hammer.
backside of the other page.
can I ask a quick question? We're all back on the voting platform here now, right, Trey?
We'll go backwards.
Section E, job descriptions.
Yeah.
Mac,
I
did
have
they,
no problem with that.
they're good?
The only thing I would say is, what are you gonna do for road commission? You're gonna have, what's that?
Keep going. What are we gonna have to do?
Are you, no, you would have,
There's no job description, right?
then there is no for that, so you're gonna have a description.
So we need, so what you're saying is we need to come up with a description
Even if it's
in
very
case
brief.
it's not the foreman.
Right,
Okay,
that's the
I
only thing.
would, I would not disagree with that. That don't think, yes, I would agree with that.
Well, I think if we have one, I think that's gonna solve a couple problems. The road commissioner, if we hire one, should have a CDL, should be capable of stepping in to fill in.
Okay, so we'll leave job descriptions on here. You're okay with the two that we have
I
submitted?
talked to the boys and they were fine with it.
Okay, so, at this point, we could entertain a motion
Do I
to
make a motion to accept the current job descriptions as written?
I'll second that.
For the road crew.
for the road crew and road foreman.
And road form.
Yep,
Road foreman.
all those in favor?
So then we gotta work on the recognition.
Wait, who seconded that?
Lance,
Right.
okay, and can you make a note on that, that we need to,
Job description for the road crew, for the road crew
and foreman,
and foreman.
next agenda, where it says job descriptions on section E, if we can put a dash and write road commissioner. Cause I think that would be a fairly easy one to nail out.
Do we, road description section B, for. road
What do we
commissioner.
have, I mean, what have been the responsibilities of the road commissioner?
So the road commissioner, up until this year, was, you know,
Never been just fine, really. I mean, the
there.
road commissioner goes out and tells the,
Road foreman.
well, no, tells the select board about access permits.
Right.
I don't know if they still call it the road commissioner's report, or if it's just a.
It's just a road report.
Yeah. road
Is that,
commissioner.
wait, road commissioner, is it usually on the ballot or not on the ballot?
Voted from the floor usually.
Voted from the floor?
Actually, in the past couple of years, we haven't had anybody else run. Well, yeah, this past year, we didn't have
Well, this past year,
Town
you
meeting.
can hardly even
right.
You can't count. it.
count town
Yeah.
So
meeting period.
in previous years, it's not been voted from the floor because there hasn't been anybody else,
It's
so we
not,
would.
it's not from the floor, it's the select.
Well,
board.
right, you're appointed because it's not voted from the floor.
So it's not voted from
No,
the
it's
floor.
not.
Well,
It's-
because we haven't had anybody run.
No, I don't think it's always been an appointment.
It's not
Oh, okay. Okay. For some reason, I thought that was,
It was years ago when.
I felt like we
It did, I believe, right, used to be, but that was before my time.
no, I feel like that was brought up because, Ewing asked if anybody, Ewing Bear asked if anybody was interested in that position. And, because I think, Mr. Macy was going to,
You'd have to look in the book, but I'm sure it's always.
but nobody ever ran,
Right.
so. And then last year, it was appointed,
Right.
but I think. I
Well, it
really
got
feel like
appointed
previous-
last year because nobody ran.
Right. 'cause
We
it
had it
wasn't
on the ballot, but
running.
nobody,
It's been appointed for.
Then Bobby, interest in that, right?
Yeah.
Colby sent a letter of interest, yes.
I would say it's been that way for at least 20 years now.
Yeah, it is since before I've been on board.
That's when you're going.
Not quite.
I mean, if we have people that are interested, we can always put that to a
Always.
position.
That's why I say you need to have a little blurb there giving them. some
Hey.
guidance.
Yep. I see where you're heading with this retirement. I
Well, we
understand.
could, we can put it on. Doesn't mean we can't put it on the ballot.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
It's something we can.
If
discuss.
somebody's interested in running.
That's what I mean.
Okay. So, yeah,
But I do believe that,
But we do need to know.
job description.
Right, if we don't have what the duties would be of a road commissioner,
We
it'd be
do
a little
need to.
hard to run for it.
I agree.
Too many people want to get it
Cause
at 3 o'clock in the morning and call up 3 other guys.
it's not a job description anyway, because it is not a paid position. Other than them being on call, those,
right.
ARPA.
that's all their pay is.
Right. That, what
After that, they're
was
not
it?
paid anything. We don't get paid anything for road commissioner, right?
Just-
Other
just
than
the
the on call.
compensation. And if they want to do it for $100 a week for.
Was it 22 weeks?
I
Is
don't
that,
know.
I can't remember, 22 or 24 weeks, I think we had your on call.
I think it's October 1st to April 1st, isn't it? October or November? November,
It was November.
November. So
Alright.
November to April.
I think it was 22. 22 sticking out. Thanks. ARPA update.
That's easy. We applied, we were accepted, we got a letter that I think was sent to you, Josh. And I may have sent the letter to him and to. Basically, it outlines what the next steps will be. and what our responsibilities will be over the next 6 months or 8 months, or whenever the money starts to. One of the things that you have to do is that talk to Audrey and see if we have to itemize that separately into our bank account in a way that's accountable and recognizable.
Yes, I think this would be easier just to create a separate bank account, it's not be sizable.
I think so, I think, maybe, again, overdue call to the not legal citizens, how will have the advice for that. And we can be guided by that, but it looks like we already have commercial account.
So it would be a lot easier to take care of that.
Yeah. It'd be easier to track. Yeah. That would be my recommendation.
Yeah, this is gonna come, there's another level to this, is that correct?
There may be up to 3 payouts, I'm thinking up to $500,000 total grants. We don't have to spend any of it on telecommunications infrastructure, and that's set. So all the stuff that's gonna happen that people will actually benefit from immediately. We'll have another 3 to 5 years anyway, but we don't have to spend any of our money towards that.
Are we gonna have to get really creative to find ways to spend it, do you think?
I think so, and I think if we do it up to the common folk, which has to be something that they approve. We'll do special meetings and we'll ask people to come with their thoughts and ideas, and then we'll say, yep, that will qualify, nope, that will qualify. So we'll have a firm understanding of what will go or not. We'll put it out as an informational thing and say, here's what we can use it for, here's what we can't use it for. So I think letting people know early and often will be important to making sure they have I don't want anybody to come back at us in 2 or 3 years and say, well, I didn't have any input.
That's kind of like, I know this is a little off subject, but we had a little issue with a new work in the middle of town. There were public information meetings that have been going on for 4 years, Matt, at least, okay? And everybody's been invited, it's been posted, and put in the paper and everything. And then we got Northwest Solid Waste District is having a fit over their shorter curb cut for access to. And they want to have everything changed. I think it's been handled.
I think the state said right from the get-go, you're only gonna have one.
You've already had your chance to do this.
The drainage line verbiage, they didn't like that curve, I think
You're gonna have.
that's easy to understand. I think
And it was just a related story to this, we don't want to have that.
No,
Oh, so
I
they
think
don't
we-
have to go in one
I
way?
think we'll have every spot where we need it, we can. We also have this as a tool to have those meetings, so.
Yeah.
That's
So
true.
they do it now. I don't use
Hopefully
it.
people can go.
Let me tell you.
25 people strong.
I've been there Saturday, I've been screaming.
Well, that was that. I didn't hear you. Yep, exactly.
Do an island.
We warn people.
By the way, thank you. I just don't have the time to do this.
You might get dragged into hell. Well, somewhere, once you get completed, will be when we start with the ARPA goals. So I don't think it'll be overlapping in any way, shape, or form. I don't anticipate them much before it's going to be.
Any information on the outside audit? Just no, maybe, I don't know anything, still just got Mr. Bath.
For what?
I wasn't sure if you'd talk to anybody else, I know you're talking
I thought we
to.
decided we were holding off on it.
Yeah, no, I just wasn't sure you talked to Jason about that and. You all right, then?
Yeah, good.
Okay.
It's choking over here.
Yeah. Yeah, really, I don't know. All right,
I excuse myself.
we talked about the job description, any items for the agenda for next meeting?
What about the inside audit for January and February, is that, have you guys gone forward with that at all?
You mean for our?
For when Abby was here, you know?
Yeah, we don't have any auditors. Which makes that really.
But I thought
Jason
Jason
won't do it.
Jason Bath was an auditor.
Yeah, I thought Jason was gonna do that.
That's he was waiting till after the busy season.
Yeah.
Well, we're in July.
Yep.
Somebody a comment to me that generally from this one like that, it just, you don't follow up on it until the next January, but I don't know how true that is.
It's just because of change of treasurer.
Right.
Yeah, I know, but
Does he, would you be willing to reach out to him and see?
I'll send tomorrow night as a matter of fact.
There you go. I don't know how long it would take him to do a 2-month audit or an audit for those 2 months, just to make sure everything. I'm not sure how long it would take him to do that, but
it's just 2 months, isn't it, Mary?
Yeah, it's just 2 months. They were thinking a day or two. That's what they were talking.
and just make sure you reiterate to him that he would be on his own due to the fact that everybody else is resigned. Any items for future agenda?
Yeah. Got a call from a constituent and he was curious as to how we handle Airbnbs in town. And that came from not a complaint, but a question about fires, firearms, and dogs, guests coming in. Think of it like a one-room hotel at somebody's house. I did look up that we are able to tax revenue from Airbnbs at 1% for our town. And there are 3 that I could find in town now or out in the country. And they were just wondering what regulations there are within the context of Airbnbs in town. I said, didn't know, I looked into it, I mentioned it tonight.
Is a
I
interesting.
think they have-
I'm sorry, I have absolutely no information on that.
Like I said, well,
You know what an Airbnb is though?
It's just a room that you can rent.
Just
Online.
Well, it could be a whole house.
Could be a whole house too.
Just a short-term whole house, short-term rental.
So I'd like to dive
I would
into that.
imagine they would have to follow the same guidelines as any resident
Nope,
as far as a fire or,
the property owner does, the person that rents it does not. So the property owner has all responsibility, taxes and insurance.
no, I know, I mean, having like an open fire. Is that what you're talking about, having an
Yeah,
open
yeah,
fire?
I think absolutely, fire, dog, or firearms.
Yeah, I'd say they follow the same guidelines as any resident.
I mean, anybody who rents.
That would be like a hunter, somebody coming into. town.
Leases
Somebody can hunt.
property for overnight has standards they have to.
Yeah, I would. That's a
That's
good thing to look into. Yeah, it's not, yes, for future, yep, I think that if we could put that on board business for us, name,
Mhm.
And look at the tree down.
the town. I think so. You
They're
guys,
not
you guys
all done.
got more.
The other ones are kind of, especially the ones on the hill are sketchy, and the bigger one that you left that way is the possibility of telephone lines, but.
Telephone or power?
It's not power, we're not on that side.
Well, what you do is you put a ladder in a bucket,
Oh,
and you get up as high as you can, put a rope on
Much
it.
of this gets done that place.
I don't want to.
Or ladders in the bucket over here. We won't be able to reach it on that one.
No.
If it's on the power line side, then the power company would probably,
If, Matt, if it's on the power line, the power company is definitely.
Especially when you tear up a
Yeah,
building.
yeah,
When you tear up a building, you
what you're saying is if you drop on the power line, it'll come.
I didn't
So-
say that.
That's not this.
If you rip it off a building, they will come.
they will come. You get a phone call from 911 from Josh saying, I got a problem.
so the cleanup of that, did they end up bringing the stuff over behind the school?
This side of the Washington side of there.
Is that the one with Barry?
I think the motion that we
Well, I noticed the stumps were still there, but I'm sure you must have left them that high.
Yeah, you.
For that
really
reason.
order them that high.
I make the motion. Adjourn here.
Like Brenda seconds
I
that.
second it.
All those in favor of adjournment?
Aye.
We are.
So that was